Hello there! Today we'll be customizing a doormat to make it a little more fun using a homemade stencil. Of course, doormats have a very coarse surface and we're not going to get a sharp stencil, but that's cool because we're going for the rustic look. We've got two different designs for you and you can download the stencils for free anytime from our website. So let's get into it. If you'd like to follow along and create this project for yourself, everything you need is listed at the end of the video. We're using an oil and acrylic pad to create our stencil because the paper is thick, which helps a stencil hold its shape better. Plus, the sturdy backing doubles as a cutting mat to protect your surface. We'll be using the top cursive one in this tutorial. The other stencil included is a more simple option that's easier to cut out. Ours is printed on A3 paper, but you could print it on A4 or freehand your design if you prefer. Start by trimming the corners off of the printout so you can tape it to the thicker paper. I'm using duct tape to secure the two sheets together. As you begin cutting, try to go through both layers of paper. Lift the stencil from time to time to check on your progress. And remember, always cut away from yourself when using anything sharp. Stay inspired and don't miss a video from us. Subscribe and leave a comment below with what you'd like us to create next. We'd love to hear from you. We've sped up this section of the video, so feel free to pause here and come back once your stencil is fully cut. Once that's done, peel away the printed outline and fix any small cuts that you might have missed. You can also clean up the edges a bit here, and that's a stencil there. Cut the corners off the finished stencil again so it's easier to tape down. Don't forget to trim the two small triangles under the wording as well. We prepped our doormat with a quick wipe down and vacuum. That part was done off camera. So next, line up your stencil and tape it tightly to the mat using duct tape. If the tape isn't sticking to the fibres, just carry the tape down onto your work surface. Use the extra area on the stencil page as a palette and squeeze out some titanium white paint. Then grab your 75mm roller and coat it evenly by rolling it back and forth through the paint. Roll over the stencil on the mat. You might need more paint than you expect, and that's totally fine. Just reload and go over the design again. Because of the mat's thickness and how absorbent it is, we ended up switching to a stencil brush to apply a heavier coat of paint. Have you created one of our projects? Make sure you send us a photo. We love seeing your creations. Stay inspired and don't miss a video from us. Subscribe and leave a comment below with what you'd like us to create next. We'd love to hear from you. Once you're happy with the coverage, lift off the stencil. Then go in with a small brush to touch up any areas and fill in the stencil bridges, like on letters E, O and L. While that dries, let's add a border. I'm using a ruler and just running a paintbrush down the edge to make a straight guide. If you get paint somewhere you don't want it, just use a damp cloth to remove it. It's easy to clean off while it's still wet. Don't stress about making the border perfect. This first line is just the guide that we can thicken later. On this thicker mat, dabbing paint seemed to work best to layer it on. To finish it off, I'm extending the tail of the E to meet the border and doing the same with the start of the W on the other side. Leave everything to dry. Now this might take a little while depending on how much paint you've used. Now that paint's dry, I'm sealing it with Deco Pudge. This is available in both gloss and matte finishes, so you can choose the look you prefer. Brushing a layer over your design helps it resist dirt and water, which makes the doormat more durable and long lasting. I'm starting with a nice even coat over the welcome section, then working my way around the border. Say goodbye to Art Block and hello to Creative Connection. We're always thinking of new ways to keep you inspired, so subscribe to get project ideas, lessons, inspo and more sent directly to your inbox. If you find the Deco Pudge feels a little thick, just wet your brush slightly before dipping it in and it'll glide on more smoothly. Leave it dry completely and that's it, you're done. If you try this project, we'd love to see what you create. To make your own mat, you'll need a 75mm roller, a precision craft knife, titanium white and lamp black, both from our Satin series, duct tape, an oil and acrylic pad, and of course a doormat. You might also like to keep a stencil brush close by if you're working with a thick mat, Deco Pudge to seal the paint, and a tear-off paper palette and paintbrush. And the one I'm using is out of this set, but any you have on hand would work. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this easy DIY project. Check out our website for more tutorials and stay tuned. We've got plenty more on the way.